Hey everyone, Ben from Living Survival, and today I have my 5-pound survival kit, so stick with me. So a week or two ago, Chris Tanner from Prepared Mind 101 posted a video in which he gave himself the challenge of creating a survival kit that weighed 5 pounds or less. So I was pretty interested in that video, and he also issued the challenge to other YouTubers to try to come up with their own kit and what they would put in weighing 5 pounds or less. So I have to admit, it's pretty interesting when you get right down to it and you're trying to build a kit and trying to put everything in there that you think you would need to survive for maybe a few days in an urban or wilderness environment and try to keep it under 5 pounds. Main things like the weight of your pack really come into play, because if you have a pack that weighs 1 or 2 pounds, you're shedding 2 of your pounds there, and it's really hard to stick within that 5-pound limit. So you really have to be careful which pack you select, and you really have to be pretty choosy when it comes to the items that you would put in, making these videos pretty interesting to watch. So since I have multiple kits, from Altoid size containers all the way up to an I'm never coming home bag, I really had to pick and choose what gear I was going to put in a pack that weighed 5 pounds or less. I figured I would start with the contents of my get home bag, because honestly, in a pack that's small with weighing only 5 pounds, you're really not going to be able to put in things like weapons and traps and things like that that would extend your stay out in a wilderness environment, for example. So I pretty much took on the philosophy that a 5-pound or under survival kit would basically be more or less like a get home bag and allow me to survive for maybe 3, 4, 5 days in the event that I had to leave my home for a few days, or I had to get back to my home after some sort of natural disaster, for example. So it was important to me to put things in there like cover and a sleep system of sorts, so that I could stay out a few nights if I had to. I've got a little bit of food in there that would sustain me for a few days, and of course a way to treat water and be able to hydrate. So the pack I chose for this challenge is the large ribs pack. Now I started with the medium ribs pack to save on weight, but I found I needed more room, and I got away staying under 5 pounds with the large. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what a ribs pack is, it's basically a pack that you wear in the front, and it offers lots of room for lots of gear. It's very lightweight and very comfortable, and I can also throw a pack on the back if I came across one during a survival situation. All right, so we're zeroed out, and let's do a weigh-in here. I'm just gonna attach this to one of the straps here, and we'll see what we weigh. You can see I am dead on at 5 pounds there. So you can see I'm right at 5 pounds there. I was able to keep it at or below the 5-pound limit, and I figure if you're given 5 pounds, you might as well take advantage. So choosing the right pack is critical, because before you know it, you can be up to 2, 3, 4 pounds just in a pack alone. So I originally started out with this friendly Swede backpack. It's one of those backpacks that just folds right up into its own pocket. And this was probably the lightest weight option, but it didn't offer me very much organization. And so I decided to go with something different. I have a little bit larger pack that folds into its own pocket, this Aqua Hamal pack, and this would have been a great option. It's lightweight, it's heavy duty material, and it's also a dry bag, so I could use the bag itself to keep my gear waterproof and to collect water and things like that. But again, it just didn't give me very much organization, and I decided against it. As I said earlier, I started out with the medium ribs pack, and there's not much difference in weight between the medium and the large, and I found the large was able to hold the gear that I wanted to take, and the medium was just a little bit too small. So even though these ribs packs are really lightweight, they are really heavy duty, made of nice high quality ripstop, so I don't have any concerns that this was a good pack to choose. So taking a look at the first outer zippered pocket here, I have a compass. Now obviously a compass is very handy for telling which direction you've been traveling or which direction you want to travel. Now this particular compass also has a mirror built in, which is going to be very handy for signaling or looking at your face, for example, if you were to get something in your eye. I also have a little field sharpener. This is just a DMT mini sharpener. This will work good to keep my blade nice and sharp in the field. So taking a look at the other side here, the outside zippered pocket, I just have 2 granola bars. Now, obviously, food would be a major concern in a survival situation, and you know, I figure it's better to have something than nothing. Staying under 5 pounds with food is very difficult, but again, you know, something that'll get you by the first day or two while you can figure out your situation and figure out how to secure more food or figure out how to get rescued. Most survival situations, you know, don't last longer than, you know, 3 to 5 days, so I figured just giving myself a little bit of a head start with some sort of food was a good idea. So let's get into the larger pockets on this pack. On this side, I have a clean canteen. Now, if you haven't checked out clean canteen, make sure you do so. I have one of these in all of my packs. They're very lightweight, stainless steel, so they're rugged. I have the 40-ounce version, and I've beat that one up pretty bad, and it's still, you know, in great shape. You can put these right in the fire and boil your water, and also obviously it gives you a container. So great option for survival kit, and again, it's very lightweight. Below that, I have the Snug Pack Stasha. Now this is, or Stasha. Now this is a tarp. So it also has buttons on it where you can button up one of the sides and sort of make a makeshift bivy out of it. But it's important to be comfortable at night. If you had to spend the night out in an urban situation or in a wilderness situation, it's very important to me anyway that I have a pretty good sleep system. Now in a 5-pound kit, obviously I can't put a full sleeping bag, but I put the next best thing, and I have a tarp and also a bivy, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is the Snug Pack Stasha. This is a 64 by 96 inch tarp, high quality tarp. It packs down really small and it's really lightweight. So awesome thing. You can use this to carry firewood if you had to. You could use it as a ground tarp. You know, many different things you can do with a tarp. Below that, I have a Laplander saw. Pretty valuable item to have in the woods. You can cut larger branches and then you can process them down with another knife, but this would allow you to get a decent sized fire going having a saw like this. Below that, I just have a Mora. This is the carbon Mora. So great little knife for all around utility use and also for processing down finer wood to get a fire started. I also have some paracord. Now this is the 550 fire cord, so it's got an additional strand in there that you can use as tinder, but great for being able to hang my tarp up, you know, making a ridge line, or you know, any of the other thousands of uses that you can use paracord and the inner strands for. So on the back side of the large compartments here, there's these 2 mesh dividers. On this side, I just have this really cool black diamond ion micro headlamp. It's very, very lightweight. This is the only light that I chose to bring, but headlights are great, or headlamps are great, because you basically remain hands-free, so you can use your hands for other tasks. And this particular headlamp has not only a red light mode, but it also has the regular white light mode, and it's got all different brightnesses to it, and then also has a strobe, so I can use that to signal. On the other side here, I just have a sort of a water filter straw, and then I have one of those fold up or roll up water containers. So another container for water and a way to filter out that water. Now, of course, with the clean canteen, I would ideally want to boil my water, but if I couldn't get a fire started, I could fill this up and drink from the drinking straw, and also have another roll up container here that really didn't add on much weight. So in the other main compartment here, up top, I have a Smaug. I think we all know that these have 100 uses. You can use this to filter out heavier sediment when you're filtering your water. You can use this as a head net. You can use it as a pillow. You can use it, you know, in first aid to make sort of a makeshift sling. You can make char cloth out of these. You can cover your face in a sandy or, you know, maybe a really cold environment. So lots and lots of uses, and I felt that it was necessary to have one of these along. I also have a medical kit. Now this has, you know, band-aids, some gauze, some tape, and a few other, you know, dressings. It's also got some sting relief, some ibuprofen, some antihistamine, so you know, a couple of medications in there as well. These are great, these little adventure medical kit. These smaller kits, it's waterproof, so I made sure to pack one of those in as well. As I said, in addition to the tarp, I also have a bivy. This is a waterproof bivy from Snug Pack. It packs down really small. It's 100% waterproof, so I can lay right on the ground with this. And so the addition of the tarp with this would give me a pretty comfortable night's sleep, you know, as long as it's not super cold out. But again, sleeping is really important in a survival situation. The more sleep you can get, the better well-rested you're going to be for whatever comes at you the next day. So I thought it was important to include a decent bivy and a decent tarp to make sure that I stay out of the elements and comfortable when I choose to sleep. And then the last thing in this kit is just sort of this, you know, sort of hold-all bag. It's a lock sack bag, so it's waterproof, and it's got tons of stuff in here. As you can see, I have a signal whistle, I've got some wet fire, some you know, some other forms of tinder in here. I have some sunscreen and lip balm, some crazy glue, I have a lighter, I have a little razor blade, I've got some waterproof matches, duct tape, another little striker to start fire. I've got a signal mirror in here. On the back side, I've got a one of those heat sheet survival blankets here, so I could use that as a ground cloth below my bivy. I've got some water treatment tablets here that if I couldn't boil water, I could fill this up and put some of the water treatment tabs in there and use that to make sure my water is nice and clean. And then some ibuprofen, a couple band-aids, and there's also another container in there too. I think this is a 1 quart roll-up bag that I could use with the water treatment tablets to collect water and purify it as well. So even if I lost the entire kit and just had this, you know, I'd have fire, I'd have some sort of cover here, and some way to treat water. So that's pretty important to me as well. So I figured I would put this in there. So that's pretty much it when it comes to my 5-pound survival kit. Again, I have my cover with the tarp and the bivy here. I've got my cordage. I've got my combustion, many different ways to start a fire. I've got my cutting tools, and I've got my container. And then in addition to that, I have a Smaug, a medical kit, a little bit of food, a way to keep my blade nice and sharp, a headlamp for my lighting, a compass for navigation, and then an additional way to keep my water nice and safe. So that, in addition to a lightweight pack, weighed right at 5 pounds. So as you guys can see, it's a pretty fun challenge. I hope you guys want to take this challenge on as well. I'm posting all these challenge videos on my forums at worldwidesurvival.com. I'm going to post a link below. You guys can post your challenge videos there as well. Sort of a playlist of all the different kits. It's fun to go and watch all the different kits and see all the different things that people decide to throw in their pack. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Please give it a big thumbs up for me. Leave me some comments below. I do try to answer each and every comment that comes in on my channel. I always appreciate it when you guys share my videos on social media, Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you want to follow me on Google+, Facebook, or Twitter, make sure you follow the links below and you can do so. And as always guys, click that red subscribe button for more videos.